In this video, I'm going to outline the difference between normative and positive economics. So positive economics is simply answering the question, what happens? And the point that I want to make right here is that it doesn't judge whether that is good or bad. So there is no judgment in positive economics. It's just trying to figure out how the economy works. So positive economics just explains what is actually going on, and then you can probably have guessed by now that normative economics answers the question, is this good or bad? So it makes a judgment. So we first have to have a positive theory, meaning we have to understand what is going on before we can judge it. So the way that I like to think about it is that positive is you're being positive, so you aren't judging anyone. And the normative has this word norm in it, which means that we are comparing it to what is normal, quote unquote, or what the norm is. So I think of positive as being like a positive person that doesn't judge anyone, and then normative being like a norm where you're comparing it to the norm. So then I just put down a couple examples here just to kind of make this distinction a little bit clearer. So the statement, if you raise taxes, unemployment will increase, is that positive or is that normative? And the answer here is that this is positive because it's not making any judgment whatsoever. Positive. So there, it's simply saying if you raise taxes, unemployment will increase. That's just what we've seen in the past, and there's lots of reasons to believe that that's the case. So that's our theory. But we aren't saying that whether we should or should not raise taxes. And then on the next line, I put a different statement that says you should raise taxes. So in the political debate, it always seems to be whether we should raise or lower taxes and raise or lower government spending. So this is a normative statement because we are making a judgment. We are saying that you should do something. And probably one other thing that I should put with normative is that this almost always involves a should or should not. So it's not 100% guaranteed, but almost always a normative statement when you're judging whether something is good or bad or what you should do, almost always you use the word should. So you should raise taxes is normative. Now we have, if you reduce government spending, you will lower the deficit. So this is always another part of the political debate, and I kind of purposefully chose political ones here because that's where we hear normative economics come up the most. But this right here is a positive statement. There's no judgment whatsoever. It's just saying if you reduce government spending, then you will lower the deficit. So that's a positive statement. It's not saying whether we should or should not lower government spending. It's just saying that we should, that if we do it, you will lower the deficit. And then here's a statement that says you should lower the deficit. And so you probably guessed this and figured this out by now, that this is a normative statement because it is saying what we should do. It is saying that it is good to lower the deficit, so we should do that. So people who work over 40 hours a week are less happy than those that work 40 hours a week or less. So here this is just presenting information one more time. So this is positive because there's no judgment whatsoever. And then the next statement down here says you should not work more than 40 hours a week. So that is a normative statement because it's telling you what you should or should not do, what is good or bad. So a pretty simple concept. I don't want to spend any more time on it. If you need more help, let me know, but I think that should do it, and I'll see you in the next video.